So much all your harassment for that tune. I had to give all you this morning again. Yeah, just harass her. All from England, people calling, send it tune. Yeah, yeah, I hear all you.
Hey. Them conniving politicians take people for a party show. For full long years, people crying, but they won't care. Cause they all up in parliament playing cuckoo. They shuffle in twice a week, and they make the country get sick. Nothing else they could do, so the doctors will be rescue. Jonah give them a washout. From the east, west, north, and south. The doctor give them a washout.
Yes, indeed. The phone number 4407377, and the other one, Devon.
347-329-3101.
Yes, and I think we got a caller on the line already.
Morning, Mr. Sheldon.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you?
Hey, I'm quite fine.
I love that song. That's Bonesy mother.
How is Bonesy?
I like that song.
How is Bonesy?
She good.
All right.
Yeah, so you good?
Yes, I'm great.
Okay.
All right, my dear. Well, we going soccer again.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, we might have to take that tune. Well, he can't go back in Calypso competition with it again. He went in it with it already, so you can't go back a second year with it. You got to do washout part 2. Yeah. Yeah, you had to do washout part 2. 4407377. That's the number for you to get on to the inside. Just some quick information here for you from the Ministry of Finance. They're making their last call for taxpayers to file and pay their taxes. This is the final week for filing and payment of personal income tax, corporate income tax, and annual stamp tax at the Inland Revenue Division. The Inland Revenue Division reminds taxpayers to file and pay these taxes by Thursday, March the 29th. This is to avoid taxpayers from sending in their returns after the deadline. Yes, so you've got to pay those today. That's personal income tax, corporate income tax, annual stamp tax. You've got to pay those by the end of the day today. The office has extended their hours. I believe they're going down to 4. So they've extended their hours for today. They started at 7:30 this morning. They're going down to 4. Failure to pay and pay by the due date would result in a penalty of $500 plus $100 for every month failure to file continues, or 5% of the amount of tax owing plus 1% for every month failure to file continues, whichever is greater. Yes, so save yourself having to pay that fee. There's a penalty of $500 plus $100 for every month failure to file, and 5% of the amount of tax owing plus 1% for every month failure to file continues, whichever one is greater. So they ain't going with the lower number, they're going with the higher number when they calculate. Employees whose employers have deducted tax from their salary or wages are also required to file on an individual basis. Owners of motor vehicles are reminded that their payments are also due for vehicle registrations 251 to 500 with plural letters. That's 251 to 500 with plural letters, and 2501 to 5000 with single letters. Yeah, so those of you whose vehicle numbers are plural letters and they start with 251, well, not start with, but they have 251 to 500 plural letters, 2501 to 5000 with single letters. All right, so you've got to make sure, go in, pay your vehicle registration, and so get yourself sorted out nicely, all right? Nice? Yeah, Devon and people had to pay the thing.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah.
It's about time for that.
Yeah. Also, Devon, government has made good on its promise to the public workers. They get the money, man. Yeah, they get the money.
Yeah?
Yeah, they get the money, man.
Okay.
So we go lean on somebody there. I mean,
So that's a one-off.
yeah, we go lean on somebody. I mean, public sector workers in Grenada this week received the additional one-off payment as promised by the government in recognition of their collective sacrifices during the recently ended structural adjustment program. The latest payment has been made to workers who have been in the service during the period 2013 to 2016. Those who have worked for more than 3 years received $750, while $650 was paid to workers employed for 3 months to 3 years. Wait now, so even if you did 3 months, you get money too?
Yeah, you get money too.
Oh,
That ain't bad.
I think I'm going back in the public service. Yeah, all the major public sector unions, namely the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, the Public Workers Union, the Grenada Union of Teachers, the Bank and General Workers Union, and Grenada Maritime and Intellectual Workers Union had agreed to the payments. In December 2017, the Police Officers Welfare Association and the Prison Officers Welfare Association received their payments. The payments are exempt from personal income tax, so you can't charge personal income tax on this one-off payment. You can't give it with one hand and take it back with our next one. Right.
And that is good.
Yeah, so over the last 5 years, government has spent over $100 million in salary increases and other additional benefits to workers of Grenada. That's the public sector workers. Yeah, so they're getting it nice day, man. They get a nice little touch. But I think,
and the workers appreciated that very much.
I think we probably had to call Chester to represent us. You know? We had to negotiate a contract, you understand? We got to. Senator Humphrey, I think you'll be my bargaining agent. I'll talk to you and Andre, you know. Be my bargaining agent.
That would have spelled a hard stone, you know.
Yeah, I ain't mind.
Well, sure.
I know they will negotiate in good faith. So I had to talk to Andre. And Jess and see what's going on. Yes, folks, 440-7377. Good morning to you, Hannah. I hope you're having a wonderful morning this morning. Hope everything is going all well and okay with you. Yeah, folks, remember it is coming up. Yeah, today, the Police Sports Club, they have their activity taking place at the police barracks. That's going to be from around 3 p.m. Going down into the afternoon time there. So that'll be taking place at the police barracks. They're going to be having that stag happy hour and so on. They'll have eats and drinks on sale. You can go on out and support the lawmen. That's going to be taking place at the police barracks right there on Melville Street. Also, on Saturday, remember, it's going to be that gospel concert. It's going to be taking place at the Deluxe Cinema from 6:30.
From 6:30.
But you're telling people go 6 and start to eat.
Yeah, start eating and everything like that. You got at least half an hour to take a good little bite, drink something, and go inside with something to eat too.
Yeah, so you get a nice little deal, you understand? You go in and get a nice little something to eat and thing, and you relax yourself, and you fix yourself up nicely.
Yeah, a lot of laughter, so not just gospel, it's a gospel concert. A lot of artists, young artists, but you got laughter. You go there and sit down and enjoy yourself. Have a laugh, you and the family.
Yeah, laugh. Just walk with your Ventolin and think if you know you have asthma. Next thing you laugh too much and you get asthma attack there and think you understand. Walk with your thing.
Yeah. And the venue is fantastic, so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And as I mentioned, the Ventolin and so, folks, if you look around, you'll realize it's pretty dusty. So those of you that are suffering with the different respiratory illnesses, such as sinuses, you have sinus problems, you have problems like asthma and so, it is important for you to make sure that you have your medication close at hand.
Yeah, very close.
Because looking at the weather, it will trigger off. It will trigger off those sort of things. So walk with your medication. We have a call
Hey,
online.
good morning, Sheldon. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning.
How are everything?
Quite fine.
Brother Sheldon, you know something that we say that when NMP government in power, the people are going to rejoice, they smile, and they feel so happy. And NMP government power, when NMP government power, they made a promise, they fulfill the promise. I would say the promise that they go pay off the water payment with the $750, and they fulfill. So NMP government power, they fulfill the promise and they do what they say to do. All right? And the Grenada people smiling now, we got 20 mountain, so they get in the salary, they get in the other one of payment. All right? I will say NMP, we the people of Grenada, we can rejoice, and this money is paid to all Grenadians who work in. All right? I want to say thanks to the government for keeping the promise. And Brother, I want to say something. Last night we had a successful meeting at the Harpil Secondary School with BNTF. I want to say thanks to the people of Harpil, Busheju, and Moline who came out to that meeting. All right? It's two projects they want to get off within Harpil School, the preschool, and some road over the Harpil Secondary School. It was a successful meeting. I want to say thanks to the people of these three villages that came out to the meeting and asked questions. And question that is important to help develop the villages. I want to say thanks and God bless BNTF for the good work that they are continuing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So BNTF hitting the road, man.
Yeah.
Remember, they've got these projects for the things like removing the pit latrines. They've also got some small business projects that they're going to be doing. Britain, We know you're busy, man, but if you get an opportunity, give us a call, man.
Give us a call.
Give us a call. Let us know some of what is going on.
Yeah. And also, the tenure of MAREP will be up sometime at the end of this month. But
well, I think it's today, actually,
yeah,
I think.
But a continuation of that program has already been either approved or something like that, based on the amount of work that MAREP, right, has been doing. So we have both MAREP and BNTF, right, who has been playing roles, and doing things what the government cannot do, right, put the hand on, right, immediate. That's why you have organizations like MAREP and BNTF to fill in the space so no one in this country can get left, right? Small businesses, small project, the social. I mean, it's just fantastic as to how these organizations are operating.
I think the dust is beginning to affect my throat, and I realize it's affecting your eyes. Yeah, that dust is not easy. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, so MAREP, their closing ceremony and exposition is actually taking place today.
Okay.
And it's taking place at the Grenada Trade Center, starting from 2 till 5. And it's under the theme Sustainable Livelihoods, the Foundation for Growth and Poverty Reduction. So the ceremony will serve as an official close to the MAREP program. An exposition will take place right afterward to showcase the products and services of the MAREP beneficiaries. Right, so that is taking place this afternoon. Yeah, from 2 p.m. up until 5 p.m. I think we have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
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 Yeah, Sheldon, sorry, I left out something. I want to inform the people of Happy Prison and Southern area again this evening at the Happy Secondary School at 5 p.m. We will be having a meeting again with NAWASA. So asking people, the resident area, around the areas to come out to that meeting, 5 p.m. at the Happy Secondary School with NAWASA.
Okay, my brother.
Thank you,
right. Yes, indeed. 440-7377. And we have another caller online. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Devon. Good morning, Senator Sheldon Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Jacob.
Brother Devon and Brother Senator. I don't do this morning at all because I put in my sister away today.
Yeah, okay.
Eh?
Okay.
Yes, I had to go to a funeral. That's why I wanted to call you and tell you. And then I have a wonderful priest. He died yesterday. That is Father. Father Peter Clark. And you know Father Peter Clark?
Well,
I know of him, yeah.
Catholic priest?
I know of him.
Huh?
I knew of him, yeah.
Yes, well, he died yesterday.
Okay.
Wow. Well, our condolences and everything.
If I could keep up by the grace of God, I think I'll go make it.
Oh, yeah, you will make it. You're a strong young girl.
I think I'll go make it by the grace of God.
You're a strong young woman, you know. Yes, all that energy you have in you, Ms. Jacob.
Keep up everybody.
Yeah. Doubt not yourself.
Can't afford to go down. Yes. So you all have a wonderful and a blessed day between Senator Scott and Brother Devon.
All right.
God bless you all and I love you all.
Thank you.
All right,
Same to you.
Okay,
All right.
Ms. Jacob. Have a wonderful day.
Yeah, and we say again our condolences to the families of the departed. And Devon, also the regional cricket, the police cricket, it's taking place yesterday. Trinidad and Tobago versus St. Lucia. St. Lucia won by 147 runs.
Wow.
Yes, St. Lucia batted first and made 195 for 9 in 20 overs. The top scorers for St. Lucia, Shervin Charles, 50, Johnson Charles, 69, Jason Simon, 36. Top bowlers for St. Lucia, Aline Prosper, 3 for 4 runs. Yeah, 3 wickets for 4 runs. Man, yeah, Trinidad replied, scoring 48 all out in 13. Man, only go back down Trinidad now, man. What do you, man? Trinidad replied, scoring 48 all out in 13 overs. Top scorers for Trinidad, Ryan Jones with 17. Top bowlers for Trinidad, Ken Hazer, 3 for 28. Joan Henry, 3 for 41. Man, Trinidad get a good shellac in there.
Yeah, they get a good shellac. I mean,
yeah.
I understand that they're under some real pressure.
St. Lucia hold all and they work all like a ransom. How small he saying? He hold him and beat him like a goat skin drum.
Yeah. Walk them.
St. Lucia.
Wow.
And folks, that's the police, huh? That's
Yes,
the police
police
out at
T20,
Trinidad
yes.
versus the police out at St. Lucia. These matches would have taken place at Progress Park yesterday. The first match was Trinidad and Tobago versus St. Lucia. So St. Lucia winning there by 147 runs. Trinidad all out with 40 and 48 after 13 overs. The second match, and the man of the match was Johnson Charles. Yeah, Johnson Charles, he would have scored 69 for St. Lucia, and he was the man of the match. Game 2, Grenada versus Barbados. Grenada won by 7 wickets. Barbados batted first and made 125 for 9 in 20 overs. Top scorers for Barbados, Larry Babb, 37, Roger Williams, 27. And the top bowlers for Barbados, Dareen Seal, 1 for 9. And Karen Persad, 1 for 37. Grenada replied and made 126 for 3 in 14 overs. Yeah, all your hand of them, boy. Lyndon Lawrence, 7. Andre Fletcher, 21. Josh Noel, 13. Bowling for Grenada, Ronald Etienne, 2 for 23. Man of the match, Lyndon Lawrence. And today, they've got matches St. Vincent and the Grenadines versus Barbados and Grenada versus St. Lucia. So right now, starting 10 a.m., St. Vincent and the Grenadines are up against Barbados. And from 2 p.m., Grenada comes up against St. Lucia. So that's taking place today.
Yeah,
Nice. So
Progress Park.
yeah, any of you heading out there, support the lawmen. Yeah, Team Grenada, they're out there. Nice. And as we said, Team Grenada, the Grenada Invitationals coming up.
Oh, yeah, 21st of April.
Yeah, the Grenada Invitationals are on their way.
Can't
So
afford to
it
miss it.
is coming up, folks. Yeah, make sure you get your tickets, sir, because I realize the ticket thing kind of getting sticky. We ain't really want to talk too much about the ticket thing because it's getting kind of sticky.
Because I
Get
ain't
your
get
tickets.
mine yet, so I ain't trying to push it.
Isaiah good deal with you. You don't get a chance to see what Isaiah good do there.
Isaiah pay a mass last time, eh?
Yeah, Isaiah good deal with you.
Hey, also, next Saturday it's the Carnival launch.
Yes, the carnival
That's taking
launch.
place.
Yeah,
So,
I wonder we go leave Mr. Sita until next week.
Yeah, we go leave him
We go
until
hold him next week. Yeah, we go let him.
I feel he played full for this weekend.
Yeah, we go leave him alone. Terry, good morning, Terry. Terry saying them police and them could play cricket. Yeah, them police could play cricket. Grenada police could play. I tell you, I now realize why I see a certain senior police officer. Very senior. The man in khaki. Very senior police officer. I see him inside the nets and them well practicing and things. It didn't click to me. What this officer doing inside? So he just exercising, he just practicing and things. Not realizing there's a competition that coming up there. Making sure he have his form in form. Yeah.
I hope the officer is up here.
Sonia Rich. Sonia Rich. Yeah. Sonia, morning.
Yes.
And the other, was
and they're like
where's two Sonia?
the Canadian family.
It's two Sonia that day. It's Sonia and Sonia.
Chris, good morning to you.
Yeah, he says
London.
River Sally Salaka is taking place next week, Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, so the River Sally Salaka or Saraka, or whichever way you want to pronounce it. Yeah, once you don't say Sarada. Yeah, it's not Sarada. Yeah, Salaka or Saraka. It is taking place next week. Huh? Nice. Angelica saying them Trini police just want to get it over and done with so they could enjoy some spice ambience.
Yeah,
they want to done the thing so they could go and lime on the beach and all kind of thing. Go in the sulfur spring.
They have it so hectic down there. They need that.
When they get the time, they have to take it.
Yeah, you have to.
Wait, leave me alone. Wait, say if them Trini police cricket team taking such a beating, no wonder the bandits in Trinidad getting away with crime.
Oh God, no. That, oh God, wait.
That low blow, wait. that one is a low blow.
Oh my God.
I can tell you, man, and them that.
Now wait, man. Nah, man, wait. Don't do that.
That is a real low blow.
Good morning to all the police officers right here in Spice Country, Grenada. To all our own, the local police officers of the Royal Grenada Police Force, and to all the visiting police officers. Yeah, right? Getting involved in the T20 competition right here, right at Progress Park. Good morning to all of you.
See, Brenda is trying to find out how much for the tickets for the bleachers.
I think it's
$50. Yeah, $50 for the bleachers tickets.
So that's 50 by 4. Wow.
Yeah, boy, a lot. plenty. But it's worth it, eh?
Oh,
The activity
definitely.
is definitely to see Braylon Taplin for the first time in Grenada and performing for the first time in the Spice Isle. Yeah, it'll be his first time here and his first time performing. His parents are Grenadian, but he for himself has not been to Grenada. So it's his first time home and his first time performing for the island that he represents, his native island. Also, Karani James. So I know the whole of St. John coming down.
Oh, yeah.
The whole of St. John coming down. And it says a lot, because this week, for instance, we had Little Shiloh with the Little Miss Grenada pageant. And I think this month, like March into April, is always just a celebration of the energy, the beauty, the intelligence, the exuberance of Grenada's youth. It's always just, you look at the quiz that they have going on right now. KB, come and sit down. Yeah. You understand what has gone? Nice, yeah. It's just an exuberance of the youth, and to see all of those activities, to realize that our young people, yeah, man, I wanted to, I call in KB, I can't get KB, all kind of thing. Devon, you shift up one, you let KB shift up one day, and then we go think, yeah, all your KB inside the studio, Yeah. Kathleen, I am not sure. You seem to be the only one that's saying that you're having problems with the audio. What we're going to do is, let me take a short break while we settle KB in, and then I'll check that out as well to see what is going on when it comes up to the audio. What we're going to do is, let's take a short break while we settle KB in, and then I'll check that out as well.
Bam boom bay, bam boom bay. Let we go. This Dr. Nick calling Jonah, sharp like a Japanese sword. What you say? They didn't like how we operating, so they throw the man overboard. But it wasn't long before people started to ball. Then your doctor start treating cancer with Panadol. The people start losing hope, so they throw Jonah a rope. Now they start to regret, cause all of them bam wet.
Jonah give them a wash out.
From the east, west, north and south.
The doctor give them a wash out.
He poured the medicine in their mouth.
Jonah give them
Whoosh!
That's a bad
That's
tune,
serious
boy.
wash out, boy.
KB, this is your first time on Hard Talk since the 2018 general election. Tell us, how has it been going?
Perfect, really.
Wait a minute. Are KB talking? Do I have the microphone by the man?
Yes, okay.
What kind of madness is this going on with you today?
You get me now?
Yeah, man.
Right, yes. Boy, it was really great. And what we noticed, that the NNP supporters was more eager to vote than even the candidate. Really pump up, like they want to send the opposition a message. And they did receive the message, and I will say, they were up to now, they can't recover. Because what is the advantage the leaders of the NDC? It's still taking of the supporters. They raised the expectation that high, knowing fully well they're not on the road to victory. Because you got intelligent people that understand, the voters list, like Philip Alexander, who received training in the NNP, and also on exporting Glenwell. They ought to know. The numbers don't add up, but yet they've been telling their supporters they will win 9 or 12 seats.
You say 13.
13. Raise those poor people expectations so high. After the defeat, these people don't know where to turn. They're looking for excuse because the leadership would not take responsibility for the defeat. So the poor NDC supporters now beating up on Obia, and poor Obia cannot defend itself. Obia taking all the last night and day. Obia can't talk to say, well, it's not me. You understand? So Obia taking all the blows night and day, Obia. Now, attempt to, delegitimize the government by saying we thief. I don't know what they expect. They expect when maybe what you call the Donald Trump factor. What you call the silent vote. Silent vote is zombie vote. It don't exist. You can't touch it. You can't feel it. You can't see it. This silent majority was talking about. NNP knew where the voters are. Over the years, they've been monitoring them, keeping in contact with them, touching them, feeling them, understanding them, and know where they are. So election day, we know where to pick up with voters. By the time 12 o'clock, we knew we are 75% ahead. We could have celebrated since about 11. Since 11, we could have celebrated. Because we know where we voters are. Before they go and vote, you see they pass and they give the NNP the thumb up. When they finish vote, they pass again. They give the NNP the thumb off. We vote.
Yeah,
so we easily ticking
yeah.
off where people, we supporters' name. For instance, Sister Delma told me, all the NDC who told her they voting for, she still give that to the opposition. She still gave it to Philip Alexander. That is yours. So if they vote for her, it's bonus. It's bonus if they vote for her. So we wasn't guessing. We had a scientific approach to the whole thing and a well-oiled grease machinery. We wasn't guessing. We knew we was going to win by a landslide. You understand? They was guessing. They was counting zombie vote that don't exist. The silent majority. Right now, they're still counting on the 20-odd people who didn't register, you know. They're still saying, let's go and look for them. But these people don't exist. Some of them dead, some in prison, some travel. Some just don't want to vote because of the religious belief. The Jehovah's Witness, they're not voting. Some Rastaman take the ID to go in the bank and change the check, not to vote. So they have all reason why they're not interested in voting. You can now count that into your column. You've been making that mistake over and over. And, you know,
they're still counting them in. Right now, they're still saying that those people are probably the ones that could have helped them out. Not understanding that they're just some religious, some just not interested in voting, and quite a lot. And this is something we have to admit, a lot of Grenadians are not on the island.
Exactly. Not some
You're
of them
talking,
have
you're
no
talking
interest.
thousands,
Not
tens
on the
of
island.
thousands, not on the island.
And some just have no interest in voting. You can't know because you lost, you're putting the blame on the NNP. We're not responsible for you losing, we're responsible for we winning. Our duty is to win. Say the right thing, deliver the right message, perform with distinction. You have a leadership, no question about the leadership, no question about corruption. You understand? I want to challenge them. Okay, if you put Brother Nazim Bok and Prime Minister Kit Mitchell in a room, and the police officer need help, and they knock that door, the police officer expect Dr. Mitchell to open the door first. If the Imani knock that door, they expect Dr. Mitchell to open the door first. If the poor and vulnerable want help and they knock that door, they expect Dr. Mitchell to open the door first. If the business community needed help and they knock that door, they expect Dr. Mitchell to open the door first. If the poor, the elderly, knock that door, they expect Dr. Mitchell to open the door first. Same thing, the church and the press. If they knock that door, the first person they expect to open the door is Dr. Mitchell, not Nazimbok. Nazimbok have to convince this group that he will fight for them and he will open the door first. But he is able to convince them that he will fight for them. Look, Devon, we have Chester Humphrey beat Nazim Bok like a piece of pan on the campaign right through. Not one day the man defend himself. Not one day he say, oh God.
You cannot defend the indefensible.
But what I'm saying, at least come out and say, well, Chester, you lie on me, not so it happened. Nazim take all that lash. He never defend himself. What is worse? His supporters never defend him.
Yeah.
Try to Dr. Mitchell. The day you attack Dr. Mitchell, Sheldon Scott come in and defend him. Devon come in and defend him.
That's for sure.
You go in the north, you hear Andre defending him. You go in the south, the people on the ground go say, you lie on Dr. Mitchell. You lie on Dr. Mitchell. He didn't do that. You lie on. They're defending him. And not even that, Dr. Mitchell more than capable of defending himself. So if Nazim Bok cannot defend himself, could he defend Sheldon Scott? Could he defend Romain?
No, he coming after me, man.
Could he defend the workers of this country? Could he defend the business community? Couldn't he defend the Imani? Could he defend the police if he can defend himself? Because Chester beat him up like a piece of pan night and day. Blows. The man just take the lash like Lambi. He don't even say, well, not true. Not true, Chester Humphrey. You lie on me. He accept everything what Chester say.
But you see, one of the things Chester did, in his one of the things that Chester did when he went after Nazim, he basically said the thing that Nazim was involved in, what he did, the truth, the type of person he is, right? He basically exposed Nazim for who he really is. Give Grenadians a greater appreciation to judge for themselves. This is what you see in the man as what he presents himself to be, and this is what I am saying about the man, his history and what he's capable of. And the Grenadian people understood, right, who they are dealing with more after Chester dealt with him. So they knew that the whole question of competence, right, was a key factor. Trustworthiness, you understand, was another factor. And the likability, the whole thing about liking people, all of that played against him. You know, so,
I agree with you, but at least Armando beating me up night and day, so I'll defend. There is in my hand.
But why would he defend?
I'm still saying,
the man beating you
this is not how it happened.
The man beating you two-handed, okay.
But I'm beating and you are spinning it. I'll become the best spin master at spinning it. Still for you to remain there and take all those blows. That shows his leadership will be questioned.
Yeah, but he's a coward too.
Questioned. And how could his supporters remain silent? When I asked them why, I engaged last night with one of the surrogate in St. Andrews, my friend Django. And I did ask Django, I said, why Nazim did not defend himself? He already incapable of selling himself. Now he's incapable of defending himself. And I asked him, why did nobody came out and went after Chester Humphrey, or you all did not defend Nazim? And he said Chester was irrelevant. I said, you're looking about the messenger. Chester had a message. Forget Chester Humphrey, the individual. But the message, and he had a platform talking to about 20,000 people at one time. 10,000 people. You understand? And he been saying it over and over and over again. And you all fail to even respond.
But they can't
respond. At least. And how you could have him as a leader, cannot defend himself. You expect him to defend the workers of this country, the farmers, the student, the Imani, the poor and vulnerable. Forget the poor and vulnerable. They become the enemy of the poor and vulnerable.
But as I call it, the needy and greedy. And the thing is, KB, that the election has come, the election has gone, and they persist in the needy and greedy mentality. It's more than just a statement, and I think we have to understand that. It's that GNP kind of mindset. It's way past that just a statement for the rank and file now. It is an actual belief system that anybody that supports the NNP is needy and greedy. That the people, because now they have the story going around, the election was bought. So people pass with bags of money, and who will stand up in the line election day and handing people $200 and $300 and $400. Yeah. And the thing is this, that the people who went out and vote, they know it's not true.
Yeah.
And they're just digging themselves into this deeper hole. A couple of days before the election, you have Joseph Andal going and do an ad and put out saying that how they never sent home the Imani trainees.
Yeah,
and that instead it was the NNP that came in and sent home all the people from the GIA program immediately as they came in. And remember, these young people who were in the GIA program knew that the NNP never treated them like that. And the young people who were in the Imani program knew that the NDC sent them home. So you're talking to them and their families, and they're sitting there, and what the worst vote you could get is Avex voted. When Avex voted you, knocking you down.
You're so correct.
When our next vote, Avex vote hit you, it's down your
They vote with rage. And you see what happened, as you mentioned, and the last week before the election, decide I'm not going to an NNP meeting. I go into all the NDC meeting so I can get a feel for myself. And I visit a couple meeting Andalone, especially in his hometown in Shantimel. And Andal couldn't get 50 people in his meeting, in his own village. So that's why I wonder, when they say they're winning, where the vote coming from? Would they manufacture vote? You know, I mean, this thing is so puzzling and amazing. I listened to Kem Jones this morning, and I feel so sorry for the NDC
people there. Apart,
and you know, and even there is nobody to speak for the NDC that to give them advice or to pong something with sense in the head. When they advising their leaders, don't take any Senate position. I shake my head. I say, if it's one Senate position they offered you, you should take it. Go there and champion the cause of the Grenadian people, you farmers. If it's 5 minutes, you get on national television, take it. If it's 2 minutes, you get on radio, take it. Show that you're fighting. Show that you're interested in Grenada and Grenada come first, second, third. Once you refusing to accept Senate position, you're refusing a platform and audience where you could communicate to your people. So when Kem telling you don't take it, Kem have his reason. He want NDC people to listen to him alone. Pay him alone every month. And I don't understand how the leadership could allow this man to set the tone and the agenda for his party. Let me tell you something. Nobody could set the tone and the agenda for NNP. Dr. Mitchell will never allow the tail to wag the dog. Never. In any organization, you have the tail wagging the dog. You think you and Romain could sit down here and set in tone and agenda for NNP? Where? It will never happen. You think Andrew Donald could say setting tone and the agenda for the NNP? It will never happen. Look, man, WRB doing it, and we know we putting a stop to it. WRB doing it, and we know we putting a stop to it. They will never be allowed to set the tone and the agenda for the Grenadian people. Never. We don't taking it lying down. We don't taking it sitting down. We don't taking it standing up, and we don't taking it at all. We will never allow them to do it. You cannot have a multinational. But they are guests in our country, and they have to behave like guests. When I put on the TV and I see these people trying to belittle the government and talking about the minister will be responsible for appointing certain people to govern your money, my skin itch me. I say, how we could take that?
We vote for ministers to do exactly that.
But how we could sit down idle by and allow WRB to challenge the policy of this government? It's not the Dr. Mitchell, it's not the Gregory Boyne, How we could sit down and take that? That never happened in no country. Under Uncle Gary, he didn't explain. Under the revolution, he didn't Richmond Hill. But he get away. You see what happened? If we allow WRB to get away with it, maybe Sanders might want to set the tone and the agenda for us. Maybe this one on with the yachts, they wise name again, the Salford, Port Louis might want to set the tone and the agenda. Or maybe some other private organization or company might want to come here and set the tone and the agenda and the policy for the government. It can't happen, and it must never happen. It must never happen, and we must take a position. I want to see the party take a position. I hope the women organization take a position, the youth take a position, and calling all the constituency branch through the country and let them know what is the policy of the government, what position we should take. You cannot have WRB continue to do it. But right now, I feel like at war with WRB. At war with them. You cannot have them setting the tone and the agenda for this country. And we taking it. How we could take that? Challenging the policy of the government every day?
You know, KV, as you're in that point, I've been listening to some of the commercial, the adverts that they have been putting out. And if you really listen to it, you will hear the anger and the bitterness, right, in those advertisements and so put out by them. And it's it's not nice at all, for someone to invite you in their country and so show you all the beautiful things, give you hospitality is nice, and then you, because they want to take control of what is theirs, right, or make it better and easier for, I mean, the countrymen, you basically launch a full-scale attack, you know, on,
but I think
them.
we must understand two very important points here. One, WRB is a business.
Very much
WRB
so.
will do all that is within their power to continue making money. That's what the business is about. They're not here to be your friend.
No.
They're not here to be nice to us. They're not here to build friendships and build relationships. They're here to make money. That's the bottom line for them. But we also have to understand government's position. Government is here to look after the best interests of each and every Grenadian.
Perfect.
That is the responsibility
You're so right,
of the government.
So correct.
So when government takes a particular action that the business sees as affecting them in that their bottom line, which is profit, because remember, they're not here to like anybody. They do projects, they do this, they do that, yes, but they're not here to like anybody. They're there about making money. But government is about taking care of you and me, and not just us right now, but the future.
Our children?
How can we set up factories if we cannot control to an extent the price of electricity? If we cannot moderate the price of electricity within a reasonable range so that we can operate factories, or that businesses that are existing now don't have to be rotating and shifting staff because the price so high for electricity that when you check, you realize that $2,000 I can save there could go towards electricity, so you will have to go home. So government has a responsibility to look after the interests of the nation. WRB has a responsibility to look after their interests. So when you look at an ad from them, understand that WRB is not looking after any of us interests. It's not interested in any of us interests. It's interested in its own bottom line, which is the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what they're interested in.
That 5% is not the money. That's the people's money. That's the people's money, not the money. They're not doing us a favor. It's not WRB apparently building a little bridge over there and it's come from WRB money. No! They're fooling us because believe it's there making that contribution. No, it is our money, legally our money.
Because you see, too, the Ghanaian people supporting that business, rightly so, for our service they provided. So it's our money that is spending,
of course,
to make the profit and whatever. So, you know.
But that 5%.
I noticed we didn't say Grand Lake, we said WRB.
Yeah,
Well,
WRB,
WRB, listen, we be careful. No, we careful.
WRB.
We careful, we careful. One thing with us, we
careful.
What we say,
we ain't say Grand Lake.
No.
Don't go and say what we don't say.
Yeah, WRB giving the impression that this 5% is their money. No, that is something they signed to. They signed to that.
The share purchase agreement.
Exactly.
Agreement.
That have to go back to the community, but they want to decide how, and they can decide for us. The people put the government there to govern. You can't have nobody directing the government from the back on the side. No. They give us a mandate because they trust this government. They trust the leadership. They trust the prime minister to negotiate on their behalf. Not for Grand Lake, not for WRB to negotiate on their behalf. No, the government must set the policy and they must negotiate on our behalf. And based on the policy they put forward could affect our children, could affect us immediately and our children in the future.
Well, look at the confidence that the people of this country has placed in Dr. Mitchell and his government, right? Dr. Mitchell and his government decide to take on some of the policies and so that is set down, right, by in law for WRB, and so when it comes to the whole question of electricity, right? Dr. Mitchell and them, they challenge it and is trying at this point in time to liberalize the whole entire sector. The people of Grenada understand that and they know it's betterment. That is why they continue to support this government, because they know that they are doing the right thing to benefit them. It's not about WRB. right? In this case, Dr. Mitchell is seeking the interests of the Grenadian people. That is what he's been elected to do, and he's doing that.
You're so correct. Watch. That 50-0 don't come by accident, you know. People have confidence. If any government or prime minister have to take hard decision, it have to be Dr. Mitchell and this government. No matter how unpopular it may be. Once it is in the interest of this country, no matter how difficult, they will take, we expect them to take that hard decision in the interest of this country. Nobody else will have the guts. Nobody else had the guts to tackle constitutional reform. Nobody had the guts to deal with the pension. Nobody had the guts to deal with it. Even the health insurance, nobody have the guts to deal with it. We expect all the hard decision to be taken by Dr. Mitchell. Nobody else will have the political will or the skill to deal with it. He must understand his IQ is about 5 times theirs. So he have the political will and the skill to deal with it. He cannot leave it for somebody else down the road. It will never happen.
And if
you have to do it now.
If this thing was just about vote or just being in power, was a whole different thing. But the people didn't see it that way. The people are looking at who is seeking for their interests.
Why is whose interest you seek? You're so correct, Devon.
I listened to the Prime Minister's address on Sunday. And if you listen to that address, I think it's... I've been around the New National Party for many years. Even before being around the New National Party, involved in the media, so following up different things. And I think that Sunday's speech will go down as one of the best that Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has ever delivered. One of the best that he has ever delivered, that speech. Because on Sunday he laid it bare. He said we have to go back to the issue of constitutional reform. We're going to have to go back to that. We must look at the CCJ. I mean, you know that, look what happened in 2016. But he has the understanding that this is an issue that's way past partisan party politics and is important to the average Grenadian. It will be important. It needs to be explained. So that is an issue that you must go back to. Productivity within the public service. That a person must not go to a ministry, and when they get there to a ministry, that they have to sit down there for most of the day to get one little issue sorted out. Because somebody just decide that, let them wait, I playing a game on the computer, or I handling something else that's not as important as dealing with that issue of the taxpayer that's sitting down there.
Public service reform?
Well, that is something that you're definitely going to have to look at. And he spoke of it in the context, though, of the MPs and their personal assistants and the other people that they have in the offices. Because we'll admit, KB, that in many offices, the constituents didn't have a problem with the MP, but they had a problem with some of the people around the MP.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's nothing to hide from.
No,
You cannot deal with an issue.
That's one thing
You
we
cannot
have.
deal with an issue
that.
if you don't face it head on.
I agree.
A lot of them,
They and what save us? People vote for the Prime Minister and the party. You know, those people who made the blunder, the error, and embarrass us, the electorate, brush them aside and say, for the sake of Dr. Mitchell, for the sake of the party, I've registered my vote. Because they understand who seek their interests. While the little man in the office, as personal officer, may seek his interests or his family, friends' interests, they know the party and Dr. Mitchell seek their interests. And I think we have to man enough, we shouldn't be calling them out in public, Sometimes I lose control and call them out in public. There must be some structure, where we could complain and that thing is being looked at. Especially you need tough person like
constant
Mr.
review and revision.
Yeah, or Mr. Gergi Boy. If Dr. Mitchell don't have the time to deal with it, you need a tough person like Minister Gergi Boy to deal with it. Take those issues and don't allow it to fester and embarrass us. By the time you reach the Prime Minister, it turned gangrene already.
And there's so many stages it could reach before it have to go to the Prime Minister. By the time you have to pick up a phone and call, or you have to ask for a meeting to go and see.
And same,
it's usually nearly too late.
Too late, and it's taking up the time of the Prime Minister. Some people have to leave in Tivoli and go in Happy Hill to Susu in the Prime Minister is. Something that should be done at the constituency branch level. We cannot allow this thing to continue. We, as leading political cadre, we need to ask for that structure, that modus operandi to establish, to curb abuses and to settle dispute. And don't everybody running in Happy Hill. The Prime Minister in Happy Hill all the time. You would start running Happy Hill.
I believe that you're absolutely correct, KB. There must be that reporting structure.
Yeah.
There must be that structure there. Because, and also, even within the public service, there's the Office of the Ombudsman that one can make complaints to. Because you have some people that have some issues there that have been around for years, and you wonder about why. Why is this around for years? Somebody has a land issue, and you're trying to sort out a land issue, and 5, 10, 8 years going, and they're trying to sort out a land issue, something that if somebody really sat on it, could have been sorted out in no time flat. So they end up having to go to the Ombudsman. But a lot of people don't even know that if they have these issues, they could go to the Ombudsman to try and sort out these things for them. So they continue the process of going to a ministry, talk to a person, and this person put them onto that one put them onto that one, and being sent in a circle right back to the person they started with, and then being frustrated, and then saying, well, I'll forget that, leave it alone for a few years or a few months, and then go and start back the process again. It cannot continue to happen in that manner. It cannot continue to happen in that manner. No, it just can't. We won't move forward.
No.
You could have as much money from oil and gas.
Yeah.
You could have as much money from tourism.
Yeah.
You could have as much foreign direct investment. If the structure to apply the programs that government is seeking to do is not proper, all of that going to go to waste.
Well, I think we have to protect ourselves against ourselves. That is our problem. Make sure, like, NNP protect itself against NNP. We cannot allow ourselves to disintegrate or destruct from within. Destructive from within. Everything we see going wrong, we have to, pull up our socks and have somebody to report to. Because in some cases, you don't have that aggressive supervision, and people are allowed to get away with all kind of slackness. And it go back right. The NNP, Dr. Mitchell, Bowen, the NNP, and the culprit, sometimes Dr. Mitchell don't even know these people. You have no idea the Gregory Bowen. And and the NNP, the opposition, love beating it. Now they're in this area. I don't know how they could pull up their socks. And they're telling the supporters, don't take, if it's 1 they give you, don't take it. If it's 3 they give you, don't take it.
KB,
I just baffled and puzzled. I am perplexed. I am genuinely perplexed.
I want to zero in on something for a short while. Yes, we're not giving advice, but I want us to zero in on something for a short while. In your mind, looking at the entire election campaign and previous to the campaign, why was the NDC unable to secure even 1 seat? What do you see as the major factors that caused that situation with the NDC?
Let's look at the positive side of it first. The government performed. The government performed. Dr. Mitchell, as the Prime Minister, performed. You understand? And he was able to make friends with some of his enemies. Anytime a politician could make friends with the enemy, he's a good politician. Political enemies. He's a good politician. This government performed. And I'll tell you, the performance of NDC when they were in government is still fresh in people's mind. It remains fresh. Because you continue to remind them. Devon continued to remind them. Andre continued to remind them. Dr. Mitchell the party continued to remind people of the condition they were in under the NDC. So it remained fresh. Then the NDC failed to have a message that resonates. What the goods they were selling was expired goods. NNP corrupt, Michelle no good. chicken farm. That was expired goods. People
Imagine
don't buy that.
you're going around the country and hearing NDC speaking about briefcase in 2018.
Yes, that was expired goods. People don't buy that.
Briefcase and Bandarante.
Yeah, and then you have a leader who was unable to humanize himself. He was unable to sell himself. And people vote for leaders. Leaders win election. You could say what you want. Don't look wrong. Leaders win election. Once you have a leader people don't like, you in real trouble. In third world countries, people like to touch the leader. They like to see the leader. In America, different. That different thing. Sometimes you don't touch your leader. You only see your leader on TV. You're nothing greater. Mm-hmm. They want to know that they could touch you, communicate with you. Whenever they have a problem, they come to you. That's how part of our culture.
You don't vote for them,
Of course. And you have to understand that. They must feel confident that they see you championing their cause, seeking their interest, not where you came from, not the class you come from. It's whose interest you seek. You could say what you want. The policemen of this country are convinced Dr. Mitchell will seek their interest. The Imani of this country feel Dr. Mitchell seeking their interest. The poor and the vulnerable feel Dr. Mitchell seeking their interest. The fisher folks, the business community feel Dr. Mitchell seeking their interest. You understand? The sporting community, the church, the media, the trade union. Yes, they just beat up on us now and then, but they know they get more from this government than any other government in the past. They know. So they know who seek their interests. It's not not where you come from, which class you come from, but whose interest you seek. That is why on the 13th March was no accident. They're talking about tight pants and dance. That's minor. It's people feel confident the government of the day was on the right track and they didn't want to change that. They couldn't know that nobody want to change what is happening now.
Couldn't afford for that.
They can't change. When you're down in the south and you see activities, you wonder like you're in a different country. You're in a different country, never used to happen before. Because this government create the atmosphere, the conducive atmosphere for those activities to take place. It don't happen by accident.
Well, KB, let's look at the confidence of these different sectors in the government. For instance, even if you look at the security forces, the police, and the police will tell you, just before the police went to vote, I was able to play the audio of the commissioner in 2013 telling the police, he said, look, we couldn't have vehicles running because we couldn't get parts for them because we couldn't pay the part suppliers. So police had vehicles that were parked up there and could not be used. You had police officers that should have been charged because they were driving vehicles with the tires nearly on wire. That was the situation with members of the Royal Grenadier Police Force. And you had situations where even their uniforms, they couldn't get proper uniform. They had to get shoes from the Catholic Church. And officers will tell you that to your face. So you look at how the police came out, and the police obviously would have supported the New National Party. And you could understand why they have that confidence in the New National Party as being the ones. Police officers in the police station had to use their own money to go and buy toilet paper, not just for them to use, for the prisoner to use too. Because they could not go and requisition anything from many of the business places because they refused to give them the writing paper to write down different things. Some police officers take out of their own money to go and buy books and so on and pen and thing to write. You go to do a report, you see the writing, think it's government, get them that pen, it's them buy it.
Well, you see, teeth doesn't laugh good thing. That is not something laugh.
No, but that is how far we had fallen. That is what the police service was going through.
And that's a dangerous
the security forces of the country,
Because you know what that could lead to?
They had to buy toilet paper for them and the prisoners.
Chaos and anarchy.
But not just that. the whole
Dishwashing
question
liquid for
of
the kitchen.
intimidation and bribery and so could
Of
step
course,
in
exactly.
when you are not fulfilling the needs of your security forces, because they are bent on defending and securing the people. They need means to do what they have to do, right? But when you neglect them of that, they become frustrated.
And that is what took place with the police officers. That is how they were treated prior to 2013. But look what we see now. They get a set from China. Before that, they get this set of silver ones, and they get a next set again.
Yeah.
So the police getting vehicles upon vehicles upon vehicles.
Just
right
treat
now.
them good.
So they're getting those sort of things. They get their little salary increases and these kind of things. You have new recruits coming into the system. You have some of them being upgraded to different levels and so on. You have police officers going for training in China and short courses. And not just the upper level of the police force. You have some constables and so women police constables going to China, doing specialist training, going to different countries, Barbados and so on, doing specialist training and coming back. So there is something happening for them. They're seeing themselves, and it reflects in the way that they operate, because you realize the crime rate in Grenada down there.
Oh, yes, man.
We must have about 3, but at least that 3 too much for us.
Yeah, that 3 too much, and
Too much to
they go
us.
find who do it.
Exactly.
They find them who do it.
You see what happened there, the little economic boom we're experiencing now is also because of the peace and stability of this country. So you cannot rule out the rule of the officers. You cannot rule out the important, role the commissioner of police, the hierarchy, and the entire police force playing, contributing to that peace and stability. And in extension, we have that economic boom. But had we country, was in a state of chaos, anarchy, nobody come in and invest here.
No.
People asking the tourists to go somewhere else.
You put tourists on the beach with people.
No, man.
Listen,
There is time to the Department will issue message to the citizen. Be careful in certain areas in Jamaica. Be careful in certain areas in Lucia. Be careful of certain areas in Barbados. No way. Trinidad. No way in Grenada. They're going anywhere and sleeping with the window open. You understand? That peace and stability, you have to give a lot of respect, and to the police who help us, and also the citizens of this country who assist the police, all of us.
Because we mark where we go.
We mark everything, we fast, we don't mind any business, we fast.
We want to see what's going on outside,
fast.
and we talk it.
Thank God we fast. That's what keeps us safe.
But a very interesting thing, while the other police officers from the region are in Grenada, they will be basically learning a lot, right, from our Grenadian counterparts, right? They will try to understand, well, look, how come Grenada is so peaceful? What, the police officers are doing? How are they conducting themselves? How are they communicating between, the people and themselves, These are things that, the Grenadian police officers, they are good at. Getting information from yes, from their own. The Grenadian people, they're very receptive. Very receptive to our police officers. That is something that they will go back with.
One sector. When you look at public sector workers in general now, they've received over $100 million in salary increases and benefits
within 5 years.
Between 2013 and by the time 2017, we even at 2018, then it was 100 million. We're going up to 2017.
That is unheard of.
And they received that. They not to worry about, like now, so they have to say, well, I'm looking for my salary next week after Easter. They get it already.
They get salary.
And they get an increase along with it, a one-off payment along with it. And they already negotiate for the increase for next year already.
Of course.
So you're going to leave that and go back to some people that was paying you on the 42nd of the month?
And then you have to negotiate for back pay? No, that's
it's
done.
the different sectors, and I don't think that they looked at it from the different sectors. You look at the religious sector, and you look at the vile attacks that were leveled against the religious community here in Grenada. The vile attack that was leveled against them by the NDC activists.
Just yesterday, how the man beating up on the church, As well, what the church could do. I understand if there is abuse of human rights and a breakdown of law and order in this country. I expect the church to step in and say, hey, hold up, enough is enough. But there is, the court is there. People get redress in the court. People taking the government to court. People could take the prime minister to court. People could take me to court. The court is there for redress. And even when Nazim feel offended, it take whoever offend him to court. So the point is that there is no need for the church to step in, because the police is doing their work, the court system is functioning, the democratic process is functioning, you understand? And my problem with these people, Dr. Mitchell, Dr. Mitchell felt he had too much power. He didn't even want to keep the date or the election in his back pocket. He said, let's have a fixed date for election. And this is say no, they don't want to fix date. When he keep it in the back pocket, they call election, no, call election. They want to demand the date. They had an opportunity in the referendum to have a fixed date. Even the Election and Boundary Commission, they will have an opportunity to make an input to decide how the things must go. They say vote against that. Next thing they say, make all the supporters go and bring in our supporters. People, I've been looking at Mr. Possible Bob, who was in Northeast. Since I going in ABC, the man teaching in the school, in Tivoli school, I leave school. I turn an old man, the one still in charge of this thing,
Oh,
Wind blowing it, he showing on Mr. Possible back. The NDC still want us to give the money. I wonder, you wondering how these people think,
But
and
one of the things that has happened with NDC, they unleash, right, a motor gun on the people of Grenada to bad talk, to say all kinds of things about the people of Grenada. You know what happening now? That same motor gun, he come like a robot without a control, he turn around and eating them up now,
you know what
yes,
happened?
the robot eating them up.
And those are you calling. We're going to start to take your calls within the next 10 minutes. We're going to start to take your calls.
Let me tell you, most NNPites set up to listen to Jenny on Sunday, man. Everybody, I want to hear what she had to say.
Me and all of
all NNPites put on the radio. We want to listen to Jenny. Went for Jenny to read Jenny trembling. Jenny turned dummy. She see cat, she saying rat. She see fly, she saying dog. When she reading, everybody kicks on Jenny. Well, then he say she ain't coming back. So Sunday gone, we had Randall. And surprising, he was okay, he warned them to stop calling names. Stop calling the NNP the needy and the greedy, stupid, doties, dons. He understand. They pay they pay the price. They pay the price for that bashing of the NNP supporters. They pay the price. So he said, stop calling their names. At least he learned it, But it was late.
But I tried to think, how could you have lost an election by close to 10,000 votes in 2013, and then instead of trying to win people over, you cuss all the people that voted against you.
And you're starting again?
And then you expect them to leave. You're cussing them, They needy and greedy, they wicked, they working obiad, all sorts of things. They collecting money for this, that. You say all sorts of things about them, and then expect these people to break camp and come over and vote for you.
Never happened.
And you see, Sheldon, before you go, they start on the wrong footing. If we had a national event in the stadium, you don't go and counteract it with something in Command Park. If NNP having something is a different thing, you go and have your thing use NDC. But once a government hosting an important event, you must take part or don't challenge the government or compete with the government. You have what you call the fencers or the constitutionalists in this country. They have vote. They may not be NNP or NDC independent minded, and they watch how you behave, how you challenge authority, and they decide where they're going. And that is why the NDC can't add to the base. It's only their supporters. You see, they need to get new people. How you get new people when people don't see you as being patriotic?
But
you have you have people just concerned about the development of the country. They're concerned about NNP and NDC. They want to make Grenada a better place. But when you're in opposition, don't behave responsible. How you going to get these voters? It's just your little hardcore NDC you're getting, but that's not enough. That is why the base stuck with the base. They don't increase in They remaining there and wobbling mud until that generation of NDC die out and a new generation. You see how God had put the Israelites that behave bad in the desert for 40 years until that whole generation go. And new generation with new ideas, new behavior, Christ-like character.
Untainted.
Untainted. But those said, if you keep them, the result is the same. The attitude that bad. Unless they don't change the attitude, they get in 15 again all the time. They are good humans. Some of them are good human beings, you know. But the attitude.
Many of them.
Some are good human beings, but the attitude that bad.
Because it seems as though the qualification to become an executive member of the National Democratic Congress, that the qualification to become a member of the National Democratic Congress is you have to have a certain level of hatred for Keith Mitchell.
That was profit.
And because you hear them for the entire election campaign, you hear them on the platform. For the entire election time, you hear them and you hear the sort of statements they're making and these sort of things. And I would have thought that if you're going there and you're trying to win that middle road and you're trying to bring some people over, one of the first things I would have done is apologize to the Imani tradies.
Of course.
I would have apologized. That's 2,000 you're talking about there already, and their friends and their family.
Yes.
I would have apologized to them. Instead of apologizing to them, you're trying to convince them that what they know for a fact is not a fact, but what you want them to believe, which is not true, is what is really true. So how you expect to win them over? You could have apologized to the police officers for what they went through, to the doctors and nurses that also didn't receive any uniform allowance and so on, had to work under conditions where they barely even had medication and other equipment. Yeah? You could have apologized, but instead of apologizing, they keep doubling down on these things. That's why I say different sectors you expect sportsmen in this country, because you mentioned sportsmen earlier.
Yeah.
You expect sportsmen to really support the NDC, considering when you look at the National Stadium was down right now, we have Grenada Invitational. You have ESPN coming in Grenada to broadcast the Grenada Invitationals. But during the period of the NDC, they didn't see it as important to ensure that the stadium was rebuilt.
Young people looking for a future, you know, and when they look at the development that is going on right now and what is planned for them, they have no other choice than to fall in line with it because it is something good for them. They see their future. But what were they offering? I mean...
you see, now it's time for we to govern.
Yeah.
And now it's not time for it to campaign. So we need to give as much information as possible. But we must never forget the fact, the poor people who had problem with housing. When your government get one government get 3 million for 4.5 years, and the next one get 30 million for house repair. You could feel the difference.
Yeah, it's in a comparison.
You can compare. I mean, they say we want to keep people in poverty. How could the NNP want to keep people in poverty when they give 1,000 scholarship for the 4.5 years? That is over $100 and something million. For people, children that get the scholarship. Even some of their children get. I know an NDC man by me. He don't like it, Dr. Michelle Boone. But his daughter get scholarship to go and do medicine. His son get it in the United States. We don't watch that because they will come back here and make a contribution to the development of this country. And that is what makes us different. That is who we are. And then that is how NNP operate. That's how we are.
But
we don't watch face.
Let me ask you a direct question. On what is this? Holy Thursday?
Holy Thursday.
Holy Thursday. Let me ask you a question on Holy Thursday. Do you think that there will be any resurrection of the political careers of some of the 15 candidates within the NDC, or that anybody there will be able to pull a Lazarus effect and come back as no, it's the day before. It's the day before the death, and we know that in 3 days there will be a right. He will be risen.
That, yeah, I tell you.
But is anyone there you're looking at? You think in your mind has the possibility of pulling the Lazarus effect?
I tell you, I don't see the deputy political leader going. I don't see the political leader going. I don't see Tevin going. I don't see Philip Alexander going. But I feel the rest, you know.
Ali still get a chance.
Well, Ali they holding on because we have to sympathize with Ali, you know. He just blocking up a space. But majority of them will go. and I think people get rid of them. The reason why Nazim will not go, he'll fight till the last bit of blood drop. He destroy his, let's say, too much people political career for it to just give it up. As you know, he fight for that leadership, you know, and for it to give it up like that is hard. You know, he really want to be prime minister. He really wanted to succeed. You understand? And to give it up like that now, after you break up a whole party to get it. You understand? A whole government to get it. Now you get it. To give it up now is an easy thing. But if it's a really challenging task now, because half of the members of his party don't want him. Sympathize outside do one thing. And what resonates in the constituency, people don't like him. People don't like him. People don't like him. That's talk. Even his supporters saying, people don't like Alwo Igo, people don't like Nazim. That's what people saying.
But the activists on the ground were telling you that when they go,
they want to turn around that, you know, easy, you know.
And the problem was, if it was the NNP people saying that was one thing.
His people.
But when the NDC people, I met one or two after the election. They said, I gave all you the thing, you know. And they said, the reason I gave all you, because I could not stand that man. I just can't stand him.
But his duty is to cultivate relationship, and he's incapable of getting people to like him. He's incapable of humanizing himself. So they stuck with him. I'm an NNP. I would like them to keep Nas.
Yeah, I want them to keep the full
you
team.
See, keep Nas. Because next thing you take him out there and you put somebody like. People don't like him already. So let it stay there. I'll give him a Senate. I'll put him in the Senate as leader of the position. I'll give him a car. I'll give him an office. I'll pay him a salary for it to stay there. Because as long as he stay there, they can't win nothing because people don't like him. Next thing you go and take out Nas and you put somebody people like. Let him stay there. What do I understand?
That's why I don't understand people.
I don't understand how NNP are telling me they don't want Nas. They what? Dr. Mitchell, give him a Senate position, give him an office, give him a police driver, and keep him there. Next thing you take out Nas there and you go and get somebody people like. No, people don't like him already. Let stay there.
That's why I always say better the devil you know, than the one you don't. Yeah, better the one you know.
Take out Nas one. As long as Nas and Kem Jones there, we know we don't lose in the election. Keep these two fellas. Keep Kem. And use Kem to set it. Let Kem set the tone and the agenda for NDC. Man, we win in every election. Every election.
Because, you know, as you're talking about that, he has started to divide the party.
What, man? You're breaking it up in like biscuit.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
Kem breaking it up like biscuit.
I mean, he's using his program to tell the Green people that, look, a majority of the supporters is telling NDC don't take no Senate like if if they offer them anything.
I love that. You see what happened? He controlled their mind.
Yes.
And they see him as the de facto leader.
But no,
they see him as their leader, their liberator. Mm-hmm. So I'll keep on with Kem. Keep on with him.
But when you hear the kind of persons who making their contribution, supporting what Kem is saying, is amazing.
They don't have vision.
But not
they
only
don't have
that.
Vision. They don't bright.
You would realize. You would realize, KB. I mean, I looked at Comrade Burke the night of the general election. It was a sad picture. Even when a vehicle was passing, it was blowing and thing. You could have seen and he shrugged his face and he put his head down. It was a sad picture. But you realize that he's fighting a regard action now, trying to save himself as leader of the party. Mm-hmm. And he's being supported by none other than Joan Purcell.
Yeah.
You're seeing some articles coming out by Joan Purcell, the recipient of the first 15-0.
Yes.
You're seeing her coming out trying to defend him now on his second 15-0.
I did respond to her, but I said it don't make sense. I said it don't make sense. Leave them. They respond.
No, but I want to help him.
They would not.
I want him go, so I want to help him.
These people will never take responsibility for the loss. They beating Obia. They beating the Russian. They say new thief. They wouldn't look at the negative, attitude through the years. They wouldn't look and say they don't have a message. They did not do the political work.
But Sheldon, just question, what the Karaku people say about Kakabawi?
All Kakabawi is one. All Kakabari put their head the same direction. They work together to achieve our goals.
That was a sweet victory, eh?
It's no surprising with Sister June and Brother Nazim.
Oh gosh.
You see, you going down a road.
No, well, I mean,
let's take some phone calls. 4407377. What we want them listen, and we said it here before.
Yes.
What all you want the man move for? Lead the man there.
The man doing a good job.
Leave
Excellent job the man doing.
He's the brightest in the opposition.
If you want me to help him stay there, I can help him.
And he had 3 degrees, you know. I forget. Leave him. He's the brightest.
Strategist.
Yeah, man.
I want he stay there. I want Randall Robertson stay there. I want
Jenny.
No, well Jenny go stay there executive.
I want Jenny go back on radio. I don't want to go.
I don't want Randall. Randall too fluent.
NDC.
Right? We want the chairman stay there. We want Glenn stay there.
And nothing. We want the NDC to keep paying Kem Jones.
Yes.
Keep him on the program. Keep him there.
All you pay, all your contribution. Where's the account? We will get the account number and give all you.
100.
Pledge already. They make the pledges, man, already.
We will do a pledge program to help you.
Pledge. I don't know how to pay Kem Jones this morning, you know. Pledge.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing, fellas?
We good.
So you can't sit down now.
No, we can't sit down. We can't sit down.
KB.
Hello.
Had them fellas voted for the opposition leader at all time, the fellow would have get that treatment now, you know. You'd have get car, you'd have get chauffeur, and you'd have get an office and so on.
Of course.
But salute.
Yeah, but them fellas, what I understand about that man is not a people's person. That man is not a smart man. If that man was smart, that man would have been having dialogue with Kem Jones. Although Kem Jones would say things, you know, but then he had to go and distance himself from things that Kem Jones saying. You understand? But he's not wise to do those things. He's supposed to know. Look, people listening to them. Imagine Kem Jones cost the entire religious community. Eh? And the man don't say nothing. The man had to distance himself from that statement. He had to do it, even though he's faking. But he had to be a smart man. You understand? Things like when the woman say people needy and greedy, that will haunt that woman because 5 years from now, if I live to see, when she come on radio and he promoting herself again, I coming back and tell her the same thing about needy and greedy. And I'm telling her how she tried to embarrass Brenda. And I know the woman is a liar. I never thought she was a liar because she lie on Brenda right in her face and tell Brenda, you caused me to lose the election because you didn't give me a chance to explain myself. And that was a lie. Brenda gave the woman a chance, you understand, to explain herself. You understand? Nazim supposed to distance himself, ask the woman for an apology, make an apology, whether you want to make it or not. You understand? You have to be smart because, people go say, right, she said she's sorry and things. But the woman is a damn and she said, no, she stand by his statement. You understand? And one of the things you said about leadership, people have to feel the leader. People have to know that, look, you could walk shoulder to shoulder with your leader at any time. I remember going to the constituency with Mr. Thomas to say thanks and so on. And people running out on the veranda to hug the lady and kiss her.
Perfect.
You understand?
Perfect.
Those people, and they die in bed, they would want to vote for her next time.
Yes.
Because they feel her. You understand? He's part of them. In Mr. Thomas' constituency, young people lie down in the veranda and wait to go and vote the morning. They make a caravan going down the road to vote in St. Mary's House School. Nobody don't know who Philip Alexander address is. Have a good morning.
Morning.
4407377.
Passion high.
Because even with Delma Thomas, and she said it, that one of the greatest moments for her for the entire election campaign was election morning when she came outside and after 4, they have a group of guys sleeping in the veranda.
To go and vote for?
To go and vote. These guys and them, all of them get together and they go and they stand up in the veranda. Yeah. They lie down in the veranda.
I've never seen it like that.
And sleep to make sure that they get up and be early in the line.
Sheldon,
to go and vote on election morning. A group of young people.
I witnessed a lot of election, but I've never seen it like that.
Mm-hmm.
The passion, the energy, enthusiasm, the momentum.
I went to the polling station before 6, after 5, because I keep telling people out of the house by 5. So before 5, I was out of the house. And all where you go, you see people walking. people driving. You see people heading out to make sure that they get an early space in the line to go and vote. And you saw the bus drivers. You saw these guys up there early to make sure that they get to go and vote so they could go and bring people to work. So they went and they make sure that they in the first three, the first four in the line. And you saw that, I saw it in St. David, I saw it in South St. George, I saw it in St. George Southeast, I saw it in the town of St. George, I saw it in St. George Northwest, I saw it in St. George Northeast because I went around. And you saw that energy and the people took to the message. Nobody ain't turning us back today.
No.
We're making sure and vote.
Yeah.
Stuck to that message.
I think that tape you revealed there,
yeah,
where they was conspiring to delay the process, nobody had take no chance.
They didn't take
They
chances.
go early, and make the vote. So whatever plan, sinister plan the NDC had, it don't work. You know, I want to congratulate the people of this country and the authorities for at least maintaining a healthy democratic process. So I'm honestly, not all country, you know, have that privilege and that kind of freedom. Sheldon, how much radio station we have? How much newspaper we have? How much talk show we have? At no time we prevent anybody. We allow certain station to cause us night and day. You have that permission. Go and criticize us night and day, and nobody will attack you. Today you come and say we thief election. If we had to thief an election to beat NDC, I join in church.
But let me ask you,
I'm giving up.
for you, which was the sweetest seat?
My sweetest seat still, you know, is St. David's and 2 seat St. David's and Carrico. You know why? I had little doubts about these 2 seats, you know. I always knew we were going to mash up Nazim. I always show on the song. I always, you know, but that 2 seat, it was 2 challenging seats. So when St. David's come on board, it was a sweet victory. When Carrico come on board, it was sweet because I always had little doubts. You know, I still in the 15 because the mood and the swing will always, but you never take no chance in election. You don't take no chance. But once I keep asking, and imagine when they say, look, challenging, but we will pull it. Challenging, you know, I had the confidence. And the people of the NNP, if they had lost 1 seat, they was going to see it as a defeat. The people didn't want 14, they wanted 15. All NNP wanted 15. That's to satisfy themselves.
Yes, folks, 440-7377. That's 440-7377. That's the number you can call and get onto the inside and the overseas line.
347-329-3101.
Yes, we have Kennedy Budlal in studio with us. And KB, they said all sorts of things about you, about me, about Devon, about the entire NNP team, about the activists of the NNP, and so on. But it seems as though what we were saying has been validated.
Of course.
What we were saying, and the thing is that we gave a lot of advice that we probably should
We
not have given.
We shouldn't because
we gave a lot of
we are
advice
Democrats.
before.
We are Democrats. we are Grenadian, and we give even we enemies advice as how to behave, how to go out, how to win, everything. It's free. We don't charge them for it because we all are Grenadian, and we want a healthy democratic process, the healthy democratic process to continue. And when they're talking about we want a one-party state, we don't really want no one-party state. We don't intend being one-party state. But the people voting how they want to vote. We don't have to vote for opposition. You have to vote to win your seat for yourself.
What about the narrative that is being pushed by the NDC that Grenadians stupid for voting for one party to have all these seats?
Well, I think it's a
And
shame.
that's a narrative
A long time I don't hear this
there.
one. Long time I don't hear this one. This is an embarrassment.
Well,
I don't expect people go and vote for opposition. You vote to win.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have to vote for them. And that shows them.
Or all you could have give us 1 seat. Who does give a seat? You have to come and take it. You have to pry that out of my fingers.
You see how they contradicting
My dead
themselves?
fingers to vote. You ain't getting it so.
You see how they contradicting themselves? I mean, they're going about saying about Grenadians go back and vote for one. The Grenadian people went and vote to put a party in office. 20,000+ voted for NDC. Wasn't enough for them to form the government? You understand? So it's not about voting. Is that is our system, right?
You win by one, you win by
still
1,000.
You win.
And that is what you aim for. You
Yeah,
win.
I don't understand.
Your name ain't going on the plaque and you ain't going in parliament. If you lose by one, you have to win. That is the bottom line. When you win, you represent everybody.
Exactly.
All who vote against you and all who vote for you.
Yes.
But you win.
They don't realize the needy and the greedy vote equal to theirs election day. The poor and the vulnerable, they vote equal to theirs election day. Everybody's one, you know. The road walker, the vote is one, Nazim vote is one.
And I continue to say it's a very unfortunate mindset that seems to exist within the NDC with this needy and greedy. Because to come out now and say that all the NNP bought votes,
Yeah.
it's just a continuance. Without saying needy and greedy, it's a continuance of the same narrative that these people, they wanty, grabby, and due to that, they could be easily bought. So NNP just pass with some money and hand out money. I mean, they even accused Chester Humphrey.
Yeah.
Chester Humphrey. I mean, as Carrie say,
Bride
oh, they know Chester.
Chester Chester will give you ideas, right, as to how to make money, not give you money.
What do you think about the formation of this cabinet?
I think it's an excellent cabinet.
Well balanced.
Listen,
wonderful
Dr.
experience.
the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has showed his political astuteness with the way that he has formulated this cabinet. And for instance, Pamela Moses.
Yeah.
And we spoke about that at length.
Yeah.
Pamela Moses, that specific role that she has to play, skills development.
Yeah.
Understanding you have oil and gas factories and so coming.
Yeah.
Understanding that you have to start the retraining process for a lot of people because you have man who trained to do things one way and now it's gone technological. You have to retrain them. So all of these things and giving her special response. I think the people at St. Patrick East had to realize, sister, comrade sister, comrade sister, the Honorable Pamela Moses has one of the most important tasks in this administration coming up, you know.
Especially
one
for
of the
young people.
most important. See, that skills development and the educational outreach and so, it's one of the most important. And you could see that Dr. Mitchell sit down and he said, educator, loves young people, works well with young people and so on. And he sat down and he formulated that. And to put Emlyn Pear in that ministry as well, the Ministry of Education. And a woman who is beloved by young people, who understands youth and youth issues and interacts easily with young people. And also an emotional person that she feels their pain.
She
could
has
understand.
grown, you know. She has grown.
That's a good sell.
And to look at that, and you realize Dr. Mitchell is a master at this thing.
Skeeter.
And again, Skeeter, to put her again with specific youth development, because
that's a comfort zone.
As a lot of people may not know, I have known Skeeter since around 2006, 2007. And how I first knew her is through youth work.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about at the school, because she always talk about the school and convent. That's not where I know her, you know. I know her right in Paradise with a youth group that they had in Paradise there. That's where I know her and a lot of other individuals, because in the Ministry of Youth at the time, I was the PRO. I used to go out doing the stories, so you're interacting with the people in it, and she was the one that was there with them. She was the one coming and collect trophy and so on behalf of them. So she ain't just reaching this thing. She are wrong in it long. And then the greatest one, to see Senator Nolan Cox now as the minister.
Yeah.
And this is a guy that gets the job done. You can ask Karaku people about him. Ask people who have interacted with him. It's a guy, he formulates plans and policies extremely well. And he's an excellent person in policy development and so on, and program development. But not just on developing them. You could have a person who is excellent at developing a policy, developing a program, but you know they can't implement it.
Yeah.
But he is also excellent at implementation of those programs. Excellent at implementation, so policy and program formation, and then to follow that up with being able to implement those programs and so. I mean, I see Prime Minister make a bad footstep in this whole cabinet, you know.
And not even that, as you talk about his speech, you know. You know, these days he looks, you know, real polished, you know, Matthew, you know, and you could feel that he is someone who have Grenada at heart, and he still believe in inclusion. He still believe in pulling in the best resources from all political parties.
We have a caller on the overseas line. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Sheldon.
Hi, morning.
How are you doing, man?
Quite fine.
Hey. Calling from California. Good morning. Good morning, Devon.
Good morning,
KB.
Good morning. Good morning, Chief.
Yes, brother. Go right ahead.
Yeah. KB, Sheldon, Devon, I tell you, man, this is absolutely, probably the best team that the NNP has assembled in terms of candidates. And I am so awesomely happy for what the team is going to do. I envisage that they're going to just deliver. We're in the delivery mode, and it is just an awesome feeling to know that this is the team that is going to deliver. This is. I agree with Dr. Mitchell, man. This is among the best team that the NNP could have assembled together. KB, I just want to say good morning to you, man.
Good morning.
Who's talking.
Yeah, man.
Panchu here.
Yeah.
And you have such an awesome analytical mind about the politics of Grenada and what's going on. So I know I have been called so many names. I took my blows on Facebook, man, and I took it with a smile, you know. So
but
I just want you guys to have a great day and keep doing what you're doing, Sheldon and Devon.
When
Right,
when Mr. Bola decided he wasn't going back, we wanted to send for you know.
Stop saying that, man. Stop saying that.
What do you have your contribution to make anyway? Take care,
I tell you, man. But I'll see you in the next few months, man.
All right, all the best. Okay, good.
All right. Take care, man.
Yes,
You know,
KB.
one thing I don't want us to leave out there, normally political parties, after they win election, they tend to forget the party and the people who put them in power. I don't want us to make mistake, you know, whatever assistance we could give Honorable, not Honorable Bola again, sorry about that.
Still honorable Bola to me because he's still honorable man.
Yes, you know, we should give him because he have the task now in, you know, putting the structure in place and help, you know, build the party. And it's a lot of work, a lot of work. And he could only succeed if the Prime Minister direct the parliamentarian, insist that the parliamentarian work with him. He by himself alone could never do it.
Yeah, because sometimes you tend to find with political parties, all political parties, that after election you go into a sort of dormant period.
Yeah.
And you might pop up for a general council, you pop up for a convention.
Yeah.
You don't even have a rally. You go back, you're down until about 2 years before election. Then you realize you start to.
No, we don't want
all
that.
of a sudden you're
We don't
busy. But you can't
can't do
operate
that.
like
We
that.
can't operate
Not
like
even
that.
with 15 seats
Not
the
even
second
with
time
15
around,
seats. No.
and an opposition that is seriously wounded.
Yeah.
You still don't want to do that. You have to continue.
You have to always
Because-
train in new people.
To me, the campaign for the next election started on March the 14th.
Of course.
That's when
Of
the
course.
campaign started for me for the next general election on March the 14th. I already in campaign mode. You know. I take a 2 days arrest and thing, but I'm already in campaign
What is
mode.
your plan 15 again?
This time I want 19. But even that, KB, I think all constituencies must take that approach. And
yeah.
they must interact with the Honorable Roland Bola. They must interact with
He
him.
need the assistance to put that sustainable structures in place in every polling station, plus the youth arm and also the women's arm.
Mm-hmm. We have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Hello, good morning, Sheldon. Good morning.
Good
Devon,
morning,
good morning to
Kariku.
you.
Good morning,
I can't
good
hear you,
morning.
but I'm speaking.
Yeah.
I would like to say that we won by 6 votes before, and a win is a win because we have a prime minister who got charisma, who got love. He always reach out to the people wherever he is, and he know you and he see you. He always have a glance for you. He's a wonderful prime minister. The people love him, and he loves the people. Same in Carriacou, we have a beautiful minister. She got love. She got charisma. She could attract the crowd. Whenever she walk in any crowd, the people look back to her and she look around and she smile to them. She's a beautiful woman. She got class and she's going to do a wonderful job. So I congratulate her once more and I wish her all the best for the coming future. And Mr. Scott,
yes,
I would like to tell you that Curtis' mom, Curtis Mills, his mom is burying today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to the funeral.
Okay, my dear.
Have a beautiful weekend.
You make sure and tell everyone my condolences again and my best wishes for them.
Yeah, I can't hear you properly.
Okay, you're here on the radio in a second or two.
All right then. Have a beautiful weekend to you all. KB, have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
It's nice and beautiful listening to you. Bye-bye. Take care. Bye.
Take care.
Yeah, I've looked at it as well, and I couldn't see Peter not going into foreign affairs. With his international and regional connections, I could not see him not going in foreign affairs. But then also, if he didn't go there, you'd know that he's gaining experience in another area and he's capable of handling it. You look at...
Why tied with Labour, which is a bit puzzling.
That's...
It's puzzling to me.
It's puzzling to me.
It's not puzzling to me. I sort of thought that the Labour may have stayed with Honourable Oliver Joseph. But I think it's an excellent strategic move. We go talk that one off.
We go read it. I don't read it.
And
between and the point is that these days the Prime Minister keep proving me wrong all the time.
Yeah.
It's a few move he making now and I don't preempt it. And he proved me wrong for a lot of time.
And you see, the creation of that Ministry of Climate Resilience and so on and so forth. With three ministers inside it.
Excellent move.
That ministry is a very important ministry because remember, you're expecting millions in grants coming in from different countries, specifically in relation to climate resilience and these sort of issues. So it must be properly managed.
Writing up the projects for it.
Disaster management is also under that particular ministry. Information is also under that particular ministry.
Forestry and fisheries is also there.
Forestry and fisheries and Alvin Dabrio again.
Yes.
Forestry and fisheries specifically. And he's a government. And you know the importance of the fishing industry to the people of St. John. Grenada and a whole, but especially the people of St. John.
He was in charge of the IT before?
Originally IT, and then he had shifted to forestry and fisheries.
The Prime Minister keep IT.
Yeah, Prime Minister keeps information communication technology under. We can remember even regionally he has responsibility for ICT as well. So that is under the Prime Minister's ministry.
So
Nicholas Steele as Minister of Health. I realize the NDCites keep trying to beat up on that particular one. Which is something I can understand because it's like, okay, you have a cricket team, you go out there and you can't make 10 runs. Somebody's going out there and scoring a double century.
Yeah.
And you're trying to talk down to them. Because you look at the performance of Nicholas Steele versus the performance of any health minister under the NDC, the Ministry of Health and a whole under the NDC. And they cannot talk down to him when it comes to his performance. The medication is there.
Yes.
You see in the ambulance, the new ambulance, and them passing up and down. That's his Nicholas Steele at work.
Additional nurses?
Additional nurses. When nurses wanted to go and work travel under them, you're seeing the nurses there. Because remember, for the entire election campaign, we didn't hear Ann Peters. And we still ain't here up to now.
She will never come out.
She can't.
She will never come out.
She can't. Her conscience will not allow her to do that.
Because she's very passionate about helping her.
Watch, Honorable Nicholas Steele, and NDC and their supporters, they will vex every time they hear his name and the position. Because you know why? He's a good manager. He is able to manage the Ministry of Health, right, and run it efficiently. And that is what you need. Someone who can administrate, right, and designate tasks. And so to the subordinates, that is what you need. And he's doing an excellent job. And they're scared because they know once health is being managed, right, the wealth of the country
has been managed.
Oh my God.
And the Ministry of Health, remember, what you're doing is as a minister, you're setting the policy and you're organizing the management structure of the ministry.
Exactly.
Not because you're Minister of Health, meaning you have to be a doctor and you have to go and do surgery in the hospital.
No.
Or you have to go and write a prescription for people.
No.
You have to make sure that the people who could write a prescription for people and the proper people who can do surgery, they are there. So I still try to understand the argument. I know the hurt and the pain that they feel.
Yeah.
Because when Nicky rest that lash on them down, they get a good blow, eh? They get a good lash down there.
That pain was then child pain, you know. You're going away, you know. Child pain does go away. They want to go away, you know.
So I understand it.
That pain staying, you know.
I think it is an excellent move. I agree 6 million % with the Prime Minister with returning him to the Ministry of Health. And I think he also has international trade
business,
also attached to it.
That's his comfort zone.
That is also another area that because he's a talented individual.
Right.
Man was not former Island Scholar for nothing yet.
Right.
Man was not former Island Scholar for nothing. He's a brilliant individual.
When he speaks, his choice of words. You know, one area we keep missing is tourism. You know, there's an increase in tourism in this country, and the border tourism doing well. And I think we have an excellent minister of tourism.
Mm-hmm. You have a lady, they vex when they see her put on a short knee outfit and go on stage. And that shows the lack of understanding of St. Mark, of the individual herself, Dr. Clarice Modescoin, and the culture of Grenada. Because the lady put on a short knee. Where you getting short knees up there, short knee coming from you? You're getting short knee like rain from there, and she is more than competent.
Wonderful job in tourism.
She's, again, an excellent manager. But also she has that interpersonal skill to deal with people.
Yes.
So, I mean, I look at the entire cabinet, and I look at it and I say, boy, there's no way I could sting a little way and say, Doc, make a wrong step.
I can't
make one.
They were in her comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think my sister, Yolande Bain, she enjoying that ministry of agriculture. Although it was shocking for me when Dr. Michelle put her there. I find that was a tough call, you know. And she did perform, and she really, you know,
she now has the opportunity to look over the revitalization of the agricultural sector in St. Andrew especially, and Grenada on a whole.
Yeah.
So she's in a perfect position, and not just in a perfect position, but she's competent. She's able, and I think that's when you look at it. You look at the entire cabinet and you realize these are all competent people, and they're placed in positions where they will do their absolute best.
She's a better manager than people think so.
Yeah.
She's a better manager. She's a good manager.
She runs her own business.
There were one or two people that were saying, they're afraid of that particular seat, St. Andrew Southwest. They're afraid of that seat. And I often had to tell individuals, if you're looking for organizational structure, which is what you win with on election day, there's hardly another MP that could beat her and her team on that. When it comes to organizational structure, St. Andrew Southwest, and Honorable Yolande Bain Hosford, she dread day. She real dread day.
You know, for the first time, she beat Qualis in Gambra,
No.
Not in Gambra?
No, she didn't beat him in Gambra.
Which she beat him in?
No, neither food. But she did better last time around. But there are other polling divisions that she had not done well, and she did well in.
She get an increase in vote in all areas.
Yeah, in other areas. And she increased her margin too. But I think what is important, and Dr. Mitchell looked at that, in her appointment as Minister of Agriculture in the previous government, and so she basically took this thing and run with it. She was in touch with a majority of the farmers. Yeah. She on the ground with them, right? She instituted changes within, the entire agricultural sector, and the farmers like to see that, right? And the results, will speak for itself. Yeah. You understand? So I think it was fitting for him to give her another chance to make things right. Agriculture. But then again, she's a St. Andrews girl.
Farmers
you understand?
And
she's a farmer. We forgetting that. She's a farmer. Remember, she has her own horticulture business, right?
Honorable Gregory Bowen.
That's no change.
There's a no-brainer. If you take a tennis ball right now and you throw it something, you can't hit something that Gregory Bowen didn't have a hand in making sure happen for Grenada.
I wonder if
a road, a bridge,
sometimes I wonder if Dr. Mitchell could ever want to run a country without Gregory Bowen. He's such a handy person, bright, intelligent, argumentative, tough. You understand? And his margin went up. He went by bigger margin this time. Yeah. And he still looks young and exciting. Look, I saw Gregory yesterday. Gregory look fit and ready to go again.
But you realize now, though, that he's had the portfolio of implementation removed from the Prime Minister and added to him.
Yes.
And I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah,
It was under the
implementation
Prime
used to be
Ministry,
under the
yeah.
Prime Minister's ministry, because initially you had Kenny Lal Singh, then you had before Emlyn you had Honorable
Otwi.
Otwi, and then you had Emlyn Pierre dealing with it. Now it's under Gregory Boyd.
Yeah.
And implementation is very important as
Exactly,
well.
because
And how you coordinate between the different ministries to ensure that projects are done.
My problem is that I don't think two-person shoe that will have difficult to feel is the Prime Minister and Honorable Gregory Boyd. And I don't see anybody understudying Gregory Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean, there should have been a junior minister
understudying Gregory, because he's so bright. He's a very skillful person, and he works hard. Mm-hmm. He works hard. He's fine comb everything, you know. He will fine comb every agreement, you know. Don't watch him just so.
Mm-hmm.
Don't watch him just so. You know, he's more that manager and more a kind of autocrat, you know. Technocrat, I say, technocrat. You know, but there is no doubt his shoe will be difficult to fill.
Yeah. You have the other two, Honorable Oliver Joseph, Minister of Trade, Industry, Cooperatives, and CARICOM Affairs. A new addition there.
Well, that is his.
CARICOM Affairs.
That is his area.
Yeah.
Bright, intelligent person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think.
And then Kindra Mathurin Stewart as Minister of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs and Legal Affairs. What we expect the Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs
you don't find it's a lot of load for her?
She could handle it. She could handle it because I know that she has a good team around her and she has the support. She can handle it. The Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs, because basically what a lot of people outside of Carriacou don't understand, the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs is basically all the ministries roll into one in Carriacou.
Okay.
So yeah, youth, sport, everything under the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Martinique Affairs in Carriacou. So she has the support, she has the capacity to be able to deal with it. And the interesting one there is the Minister for Legal Affairs. Yeah. And I think now we're seeing a younger mind looking at legal issues and also being able to look at current issues in a different way than it may have been looked at before. Not that the person who looked at it before was in any way incompetent, but now you're having a different perspective when you're looking at legal issues. So you have a young lawyer, 34 years old, yeah, Minister of Legal Affairs.
You're right, because some of our legal mind is getting is aging, because Honorable Laurie Joseph is aging. My good friend in Carriacou, that is Nimrod, is aging. We need to bring in some young legal mind, you know, into the whole, you know. Because Laurie Joseph made his contribution, you know. Mr. Nimrod made the contribution. So you need to bring in some new legal minds, you know, and that she's one. But I would like to see some more legal mind people coming into the reality.
So I think the Prime Minister in constructing that cabinet, he's not looking at political survival. That is not what he's looking at there. He's looking at who is best suited to help move Grenada forward and which role that person can play. I expect that it's a cabinet. So you expect within a period of time he would do a review, he would say, okay, I think I want to give you some experience in this area. I want to give you some experience over in this area and make changes from time to time to give people the opportunity to get experience in other areas, not as some men used to do to punish people. That are going and punish you, so I come and I move you. And I throw you here because I want to punish you, but because he wants to give you experience in different areas.
But then I know, very rare hear anybody mention any displeasure or anything, you know. When we hear this cabinet, everybody feels satisfied and everybody come out there with joy. That's how the cabinet was picked, and in the position, you know, certain members got in the cabinet. I think we're satisfied and preparing to govern now. The election campaign is over. We're asking all the NDC, bury the hatchet. Stop calling names. We know it will take some time for those internal wounds to heal. But it's time to, let's go forward. And, go down on the ground, organize your party, but at the same time, let's look at the national development of this country. Or we have to live here. We children have to live here. So don't oppose everything. If something you see the government do wrong and you're dissatisfied, call us out. We do something that is good, give us the blessing. Because we have to live here. We can't go anywhere else and live. That is our home. Our children have to inherit. If we make bad decision, our children pay the cake. We make good decision, our children benefit. So the opposition stop it, behaving and all this name calling, planning to, to try attempt to delegitimize the government. You don't get nowhere with that. Be patriotic.
One of the things we've noticed of late, KB, is that there's an attempt to launder news. When I say launder news, the fake news that is being pushed online. And in fact, one of the names that has been popped up now, Monte Freshner, as all of a sudden he's interested in Grenada and he's writing on Grenada. That individual has been linked to SCL elections, which is part of Cambridge Analytica. Who are the people that actually helped Donald Trump to get into office and who are embroiled in a controversy right now, especially in the UK and other countries, for trying to affect the outcome of elections by psychological warfare via social media and so in different countries. And all of a sudden you realize that they have an interest in Grenada, and it's the beginning of something. It's the beginning of something. Because years ago we had the David Marchants and these kind of people that would write all sorts of things on Grenada. And now you have the Rishjock and the Freshner, two convicted criminals, who are all of a sudden writing stories on Grenada. All of a sudden they have an interest on Grenada on websites that you realize were built like last week and week before. Just put up just specifically for that purpose to write something negative on Grenada and Grenada's elections and so on. Somebody's paying the piper. Who it is, I know if it's a certain political party that was passing around baskets and black plastic bag to collect money recently. Or I know if it's a certain company. I know who it is, or if it's individuals. But there is a move afoot. When you speak of delegitimizing the government and the electoral process, there is a move afoot. A lot bigger than just the people speaking on the ground.
Yeah, before we end, I still I have the opinion or different interest group. You don't have to be affiliated to the NNP or, sympathetic with the government. But what I'm saying, those of us who take independent position and have Grenada at heart, I think we should start writing to WRB and protest. Let them know how we feel. To stay out. We don't want them to set no tone and no agenda for the people of this country. And a lot of my friends tell me they start beating upon them. They're not accepting that. Because every time this thing appears on TV, it's looking as though it's a different political party challenging the government. We just can't allow it. Anyhow, that was a good session. The time run fast, boy.
Before we go, just a public service sort of announcement or whatever. NAGMA, at this point in time, NAGMA is embarking on the reorganization or the re-electing of all the different constituency branches and so. One of the things they have been doing over the last couple of years is for appealing for volunteers, persons to come and be part of NAGMA, right? To ensure when there's different seasons, the hurricane seasons, when we have emergencies and so, we have people within the constituency who can be in the forefront ensuring the safety and protection of all of our citizens. So all out there, all persons around Grenada, Carriacou and Petit Martinique who are interested, right, in contributing and partaking in NAGMA, and so pay attention to the radios and so the different dates for the elections and so for volunteers to be part of it will be announced very soon. Right? Very, very important.
Election mode still, so yes. Mind coming out and vote.
Yeah, and it's very, very important, right? To support.
Right. Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today. We'd like to thank KB, and we have to warn KB he had to come every week. I know it's
Yeah,
kind of
once
thing,
a
KB.
week.
Once a week at least. He
Yeah.
had to drop in and give us a little something.
Yeah.
And we'd like to thank you so very much, KB. Always insightful. And we know if the NDC they listen a bit to you, they learn something or two. They might have pulled back a seat somewhere, but they didn't want to listen.
No.
Vince St. Louis said, Miss Rush said, even the late George Brizan, I always say Horatio, George Ignatius Brizan, said they don't seek advice and they don't listen. And there's an African proverb for that one, but I'll leave it alone for today. Folks, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk. It's been wonderful being here with you. And in whatever you say and do it safe and secure. And we'll be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
All right, so we're out of here. Remember the police, they have their activity this afternoon. They're at the police barracks. Remember on Saturday
evening.
Yeah, that gospel show concert. It's taking place at the Luke Cinema.
6:30.
Yes.
We'll be there at 6, eat something.
All right. We're out.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news, be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving.
Public sector workers receive additional one-off payment. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the National Report, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Public sector workers in Grenada this week received the additional one-off payment as promised by the government in recognition for their collective sacrifices during the recently ended Structural Adjustment Program. This latest payment has been made to workers who have been in the service during the period 2013 to 2016. Those who have worked for more than 3 years received $750, while $650 was paid to workers employed from 3 months to 3 years. All the major public sector unions, namely the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, the Public Workers Union, the Grenada Union of Teachers, the Bank and General Workers Union, and the Grenada Maritime and Intellectual Workers Union, had agreed to the payments. In December 2017, the Police Officers Welfare Association and the Prison Officers Welfare Association received their payments. The payments are exempt from personal income tax. Over the last 5 years, government has spent more than $100 million in salary increases and other additional benefits to workers in Grenada. The Grenada National Accreditation Board, GNAB, is on a drive to raise awareness about accreditation. GNAB held a media launch at the National Stadium on Wednesday, part of its public relations campaign. Deputy Chairman Colin Dow says as part of the consultation process, the Secretariat will soon reach out to the various stakeholder groups to elaborate on the services that can be provided.
Membership from, for example, the Grenada Chamber of Industry and Commerce, the Grenada Industrial Development Corporation, the Employers Federation. Of course, we're meeting with the senior managers within the public service, as well as various secondary institutions, in order to share what we do, how we can assist in ensuring quality employment, quality services for the general public. So in the coming weeks, there will be a rollout of these consultations, and we'll be contacting the various stakeholder groups in order to accomplish same.
The Grenada National Accreditation Board was established in 2014. It was born out of a mandate issued by CARICOM in 2002 for member states to establish autonomous national accrediting bodies. GNAB offers services for institutional, program, and short course accreditation, as well as credential evaluation and recognition of transnational qualification among others. Executive Director Pauline Finley says they have developed policies that guide in these areas. She says they also seek to guard against fraudulent institutions.
You're asked to provide evidence when evaluators come to look at you, to provide evidence that you were established legally, whether it's by charter, whether it's by an act of parliament, or whether it's by following a business that you have established and have all your articles of associate that goes with establishing a business.
One of GNAB's major successes is the establishment of its website, www.accreditation.gd. Grenada could soon implement the OECS Yes Youth strategy, developed to foster greater attention and action to issues directly affecting OECS youth. That's according to Director General of the OECS, Dr. Didicus Jules. He says the program will fit into Grenada's society since Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell's government has focused heavily on the past on youth empowerment and development. The goal of the initiative is to develop a youth-empowered society by focusing on key areas crucial to young people. Yes, I belong, focusing on citizenship and identity. Yes, I earn, focusing on employment and entrepreneurship. Yes, I learn, focusing on education and training, among others. Dr. Jules says preliminary discussions have begun.
Whereas in the past, all youth strategies have been developed by older people for young people, this strategy is crowdsourcing ideas from young people of what they would like to see government put in place to enable them to achieve their aspirations. So we just had a quick word with Prime Minister Mitchell, and we are going to work closely with government on that to roll out that strategy process in Grenada with young people, whether they are unattached or part of youth groups, so that those voices of youth can be included in shaping the strategy.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
The season is coming. Saturday, 7th April, the Spice Mass Corporation launches the Caribbean's biggest summer festival. Spice Mass 2018, 10th Plainfield from 3 p.m. It's one exhilarating experience with display of fancy mass, traditional mass, jab jab, moko jumbi, and performances from Soca King, Boise, Groovy King, Dash, Road Match King, Lil Natty and Thunder, Calypso King, Rootsman Kelly, plus hand performances and presentation of the 2018 Carnival Queen contestants. For the kid, there's bouncing castle, face painting, and fun derby. Spice Mass Launch 2018 brings the entire family. Log on to spicemassgrenada.com for more.
I love it.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell says careful consideration must go into the process of choosing personal assistants to ministers. During the official swearing-in of ministers at the National Stadium on Sunday last, he said they must look not just to close friends and supporters, but to the people with the necessary skill set and mindset that will guarantee greater service to ordinary people in particular.
Personal assistants are paid by the government and taxpayers of the country, not by the NNP party, and must therefore be person willing to serve all the people of our land. They must be able to oversee the execution of the people's mandate, and to do so with a sense of fairness, respect, and honesty.
The Royal Grenada Police Force says vigilance will be the watchword for the long Easter holiday weekend as people converge in various parts of the island to celebrate the occasion. Police Constable Adel Lewis says one of the areas that will be monitored is Bathway Beach, a popular Easter weekend venue where traffic changes will be implemented.
Persons wanting to enter Bathway Beach, anything after 1200 hours, persons would not be able to enter the beach or access the beach through the River Sally route. And I know that this is one of the favorite routes for persons in terms of the road conditions and everything. So persons coming from Grenville direction, you would be, I would not say diverted, but directed rather to Rosehill Monfendu junction. You take a right when you get to that junction and you drive until you reach the area of the playing field. Then you take another right. There's a Dutch road to the back of the playing field. You travel along that road and you're going to get to the beach. Persons would not be able to park on the beach.
With the Bathway Easter activities growing in popularity every year, Constable Lewis is urging people to carpool to ease the traffic congestion.
Persons coming from Sutter's direction, you would take a left turn at Rosehill Monfendu Junction and you travel similarly to persons coming from Grenville. You would be there to the parking as well. And I really want to stress to persons, I know that we like driving our own vehicles and everybody want to drive come to the beach. But if it's possible,
pool.
Try the carpool. I believe that will greatly assist you there.
And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news, be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving.
You do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.